Jai Hind to everyone. My name is Vikas, Assistant Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Today I am going to give my presentation on the object-oriented concepts in Java, which is the OOPS in Java subject in for the second year. These are the contents of my presentations. What is object-oriented programming in Java, and where generally these concepts are being, how their concepts are being used there. Means, as we know already, object-oriented programming is more about the object classes and their methods are there. Classes in which we create another objects are there, and in those objects contain the data, and on the basis of those data we have to provide some method in order to implement those objects are there. So, when you say object-oriented programming, Java is a programming paradigm centered around the concept of objects are there, which can contain data. We say field also, and the code and methods are there. So, it structures software design around these objects, allowing them to interact with each others through the four key principles are there. One is encapsulations, inheritance, polymorphism, abstractions are there. In first one is encapsulations. We generally what we do, we bundles the data, methods that operates on data within a class and protect them from the outside the access, or you can say any kind of misuse are there. Generally, we declare those data as a private are there, so that nobody can able to access are there. If they have to access, there are certain methods are there, getter and setters, through which we can access those data are there. Another inheritance, in which we have the tree-like structure, in which we have the main class, that is in regard is super class is there. Then we have the different various subclasses are there, which inherit the properties of the super class are there. Polymorphism means, as the name suggests, same name and and many forms are there, in which we can have the same name of methods are there, and then they have the different parameters depending upon the requirements are there. So, they allow the different classes to respond to same methods in every in their own specific ways. So, they provide the flexibility and ability in the code designs are there. Another abstraction is there, where we hide the complex implementations from the users, and only give the essentials users which is being required by the users are there. So, they help in simplifying the interactions with objects and reducing the complexity are there. Generally, these concepts are being used here in when I say object-oriented concepts are there. We have the classes, object, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstractions are there. As we know, the classes is in a basic building blocks of an object-oriented programming there, in which we have the attributes are there, we have the objects are there, we have the methods are there, and on which those objects we provide some certain methods are there. So, we can say class is basically a templates for the object-oriented programming, in which we can create classes, and those classes have the certain instances are there. On the basis of those, we generally what we do, we create a constructors on the objects that we have created, and while these constructor will create an instance of that particular class are there, or you can say objects are there. So, class can also give the visibility of the data method to the class. Here, visibility means how the data method will be used outside the classes are there. If a class has the private visibility, then the data method will be method will not be accessible outside the classes are there. So, if a class has publicly visibility, then the data methods will be accessible to the outside of that class are there. So, Object is an instance of a class, or we can say it is in a variables of the class are there, which contain the data are there. So object consists of variables or the data members which defined within the class are there, and method of the class are called with the help of the those objects are there. So there are many objects can be created for a class. Each object has its own values for the variables which can be defined in the classes are there. So objects are different from other objects, but objects of the class because of the values they have. It means for the certain methods we have the values will be different, and for the different methods we have the value will be different are there. So classes are generally is just like a class is just like in a fruit is there. We define this say class is the fruit, and in this class we have the different types of fruits are there, like your and in order to define it we create an objects in which we have the apple, banana and mangoes are being defined as an objects are there. So class and objects are two main aspects of object oriented. So we can differentiate the how the classes and objects are being differentiated. Class is the one in which we define the oral containers, say, or in which we define the classes there, and they have the different instances are there, different products are there. Then say those are the objects are there. So how we create an objects in the class is there. That's the major thing is. So here in this example, we have the create a class. Here main is there, and we have the integer type x value is equal to 5 is there. And now we define the main objects for that instance that has to be created. That is main. Space my object is equal to new is the method for creating an instance for that objects, and the it should be similar to the class name is there. So this is basically your constructor which is being used in, or you can help in order to create an object of the classes. So in Java, an object is created from a class. We have already created created a class. Here is a main is there. Now we have to create an object is there. To create an object, we have to specify the class name followed by the object name and use the keyword that is new here in this case is there. So in order to create an objects, we use this. This is the method, or you can say this is a syntax for creating an objects within the class is there. So here we have created the my object is there, and this is main is basically main space and the object name that you want to give. Here I have given the my object. You can also give the xyz or anything is there. Your object is there, which then equal to new. New is basically keyword is being used in order to create an instance for that particular objects are there, and that and new space and the main is it should be similar to your class name is there. Then we have to print the system.out.println. My object is there, then this value which is being x is equal to 5 is will be printed here in this case. This is how we create an object for the classes are. Let's and on the basis of that we can also create the multiple objects. Object 1, object 2 are there. Then we have to print those objects 1 and 2 here in this case. This is how the objects are being created within the class. There we can have the multiple class. We have the multiple objects are being created within the classes are there. So as we already discussed, these what is the objects are there, what classes are there, then the objects are there. There are another thing. There are various you can say various principles are there which we use generally. These are being linked with this various 4 principles are there, that is abstractions, polymorphism, inheritance, and encapsulation. Let's take one by one those concepts. So first is inheritance is there. Inheritance way of, or you can say way of organizing your class. Here terms means inheritance states like eye, your color, hairs, and so on are there. Classes have the certain properties which can be grouped together, that their common properties are also defined as one is there. Superclass which have the certain attributes or methods which will be inherited by their subclasses are there. So subclasses inherit all superclass attributes and method beside having its own unique attributes and methods are there. So generally this is just like a hierarchical structure in which we have the in the top we have the superclass, then we have the certain different subclasses are there and subclasses and so on are there. So generally inheritance is the way of organizing class where they have the similar type of attributes are being kept in one subclass and another subclass and so on. This is an example we have taken as the vehicle is a superclass here in this case. We have the automobiles is there, we have the motorcycle is there, we have the buses are the certain category comes under the vehicles are there, and they have the certain properties which are further on create and subclasses are there. So they will inherit the properties of the here this subclass will inherit the properties of the vehicle is there. Vehicle is generic term we say here, and it is properties has been inherited by this subclass is there, that is automobile, and it's after inheriting the properties of the vehicle, they have the certain their own properties are there, which are like sedan, sports cars are there, which are further divided into subclasses are there. Same way we can have the buses are there, luxury buses, school buses are there. So here the properties have been inherited from the main classes are there. So another important points for the object oriented is encapsulations. This is a encapsulation is a mechanism for wrapping the data, that is variables and the code acting on the data, that is methods are there together a single unit. In encapsulation, the variable class will be hidden from the other classes and can be accessed only through the method of their own current classes are there. Therefore, it is called data hiding is there. So, in order to achieve the encapsulation Java, we have to declare the variable class as a private is there, and provide public method to modify and view the variables values are there. So, in this generally what we do, we hide these those values from the others are there. If we have to access it, then we have to define certain methods, that is getter and setters methods, in order to access those private members are there. So, typically key aspect of encapsulation is private members, as I told that we declare those private. So that they can be there will be a restrict access of the objects from the outside from the that class is there. And then we use the public two methods generally we use getter and setter methods are there, which often access those private data, and we can also provide modify those data are there. And encapsulation basically provides an data protections is there. They prevents external from directly modifying objects, so that those data can be protected there. So this is example. Here we have the create a class student here, in which we have created the two private values are there, variables are there, that is name and the age is there. Now these are the privates are there. Now we have two outside this class, another cannot able to access those data are there, variables are there, and they have to access it. Then they have to get the values that with the help of the that is getter and setters are there. So first thing is we create an private int age is there. Then we have in the public string name get name is there in order to get the name, and then we have to return the name. Now we have to provide a setter for the name with the validation options are there, which is optional. So we provide a public void set name, string name is there. If we have to check whether the string is empty or not, if name is not equal to none and name is empty is there or not, then else we have to throw an exceptions here. In this case, if they say ki name cannot be null or empty here in this case. So first thing is we have to define those as a private are there, and they cannot be accessed from outside from the class. If they have to access, we have to get the age is there, then we have to set the age here in this case. We have to get again get the name is there, then we have to set the name here in this case. So first we have to get the name, getter method is being used, then setter method is being used in order to manipulate those data are there. Same way here what we do for the string we use set name and the sorry get name and set name is there, and for the age we use the get age and set methods in order to access those variables are there. That is your basically your encapsulation. Another is polymorphism. Polymorphism means provides the facility to give the same name to many functions are there. Poly means many and morphism means forms are there. It means many forms of the same things are there. Similarly, OS permits to have the many functions with the same names are there, but with different parameters are there. We can have the single parameter, we can have the no parameters, we can have the one parameter, we can have the two parameters, we can more than two parameters are there. So this is example. We have created an example classes. Sorry, this is the class is the, it has to be uppercase polydemo, where we have to print void print int a is there, system dot print value of the a. Now another print is being defined where we have the two different parameters are there, and here the value is being printed again in with the here we have one parameters, here we have the two parameters are there. We can also have the characters parameters are there. So here, so generally this will print the different parameters values are there, and they have the same names are there. So polymorphism means as we say, poly means many and morphism means forms are many forms having we can create are there with the same names are there, but with the different parameters here in this case. So here we create a class print demo is there, the public static void, then we have create an objects are being created. So it will be poly demo is there, objects new and poly demo here in this case. Then objects is being created here only one parameters, another object instance is being created with the two parameters are there, another objects are being created with the character parameters are there. So this is your what it is in a polymorphism here in this case. So this is an explanation. We have defined the class three all out prints are there, print demo is there, and we call the different prints methods for the various arguments. Objects print 10 single parameters, 2 parameters and character parameters are there. Here generally we do perform the method overloading is there, in which defined at the compile time. However, the overriding which we done at the polymorphism, which we will discuss here later on. Another is abstraction is there. Abstraction allow programmer to see the problems at overview level is there. Here in this only the certain details which are being useful to the users, and the complex informations are being hide, and only the useful information has been given to the users are there. Here in the abstraction, we generally use the interface is there in order to implement the abstractions methods are there. Generally, what we do in this abstractions, we create a class, abstract class is there, and those methods are being implemented with the help of the interface are there. So, abstraction define the class with the member function. It is called abstract class. Any details member function is not given in the abstract class. Member functions are defined only with inputs and output parameters in abstract class. Body of the members function is not defined in the abstract class. So, these members function are called abstract functions are there. So, keyword abstraction is being used to define the abstract class is there, and the abstract functions are there. So, further class can be defined from the abstract class. These subclasses will inherit the members of the abstract class and provide details of each member function. So, no objects can be created for an abstract class is there. So, in order to create the objects, you have to use the interface methods in order to implement the abstract class. So, in order how we implement the mechanism abstraction class. So, abstraction class is an abstract class class that cannot be directly instantiated. So, we cannot, as I told you, we cannot create an object of the classes of the abstract class. So, it can only contain both your abstract class can contain only abstract method without any body, and the concrete method with the body is there. So, subclass which inherit these abstract class must provide an implementations of all abstract methods is there. So, this can be enforced to common interface while using the subclasses to specialize the behavior. So, generally what we do, we use the interface in order to implement this abstract class is there. So, in abstract class, we cannot create an instance on objects say in order to create an object, we have to inherit this subclass, will inherit the abstract class, and then we create an instance of the objects. So, for that, in order to achieve this abstractions, we use the interface LLD. So, interface in Java is a mechanism to achieve the abstractions. There can be only abstract method in Java interface, not a method body. It is used to achieve the abstractions, and multiple inheritance in Java is there. So, inheritance as well as the abstractions are being implemented with the help of the interfaces are there. So, in other words, we say interface can have the abstract method, and the variables cannot have the method bodies there. So, how we declare it? So, we generally say interface keyword, we say interface, and the interface name that you have provided is there. And then we have the methods are public abstract by default, and as you see, they have the no body can be here. So, we have the public void method is there one, and another method 2 here. So, this is an example. We have created an abstract class is there, where which is in which we are going to create an shape is there. Shape is just like an area or you can say an object shape is there. The abstract class shape is there. We define this is the public abstract double get area. Here, this is the abstract method is there, which must be implemented by the subclasses. So, in order to implement, so we define an interface measurable is there, where we measure it there. So, here we get the double get parameters is being defined. Here, the parameters is being defined. Now, we create a concrete class which will implement the shape here in this case. Class circle extend implement shape is there. So, here the concrete class will implement the shape. So, we say class circle. Circle is the subclass which will inherit the properties of the abstract class, which extend the shape, and it is being implement the measurable is there. So, here we define the private doubles radius, public circle double radius, and this will give the radius being defined, and it is being give the area of the circle here in this case. Now, in order to this is being implemented. Now we have to get the method here. In order to, here we generally define the method that what we have to do, but how to do it, for that we use the annotation that is @override here in this case, which override this get area. Get area is being called here, public double get area, and it will return the area of the circle is math pi is equal to radius into radius is there. Then this will display the area of the circle is there. Now we have to calculate the parameters for the circle here, because this is a part of circle. So again we override the get parameters here. So we inherit the properties, we call the method that is get parameters, then we return the parameters values here in this case. Another is here we also use the concrete class implement the shape here, which does not implement the measurable here because we are not calculating the parameter here. Let's suppose we create a rectangle class which will extend the shape. Shape is what? Shape is this abstract class which is being extended. Here private doubles width and height is being defined, and public rectangle doubles width double height is being defined. So here we create an instance where this width is width, this height is height is. Now we have to implement it. For that we use the override methods where public doubles get area. Get area is being called. This is the get area, and we using that get area, we generally return the width and height of in this case. So this is the main class in which we define the main public class. Main is there, then we have to write public static void main, string arguments are there. Then shape is equal to, here the instance has been created for the circle here in this case, then we print those circle is there. Then if we check whether if the circle instance of measurable is there or not, and then measurable circle is equal to measurable circle which will define, then it will print the circle parameters here in this case. Again, with respect to rectangle, we create an instance with the two parameters. Here we have the one parameters, here two parameters, because rectangles length and breadth are being used. Then it will print the area of the rectangles are there. Okay, so these are the different approaches that we use in the object-oriented programming languages are there. So in encapsulations, we generally hide the values are there from the users are there in order to protect the data from outsides. Inherit is just like in a hierarchical structure in which we have the main class, super class, and the subclasses are there which inherit the properties are there. Polymorphism means same name with the different forms are there. Form means we can have different parameters are there. No parameter, more than one parameters, or more than one parameters are there. One parameter, more than one parameters, or different types of like say integer characters are there. Then abstractions is being used where we hide the complex details from the users and only give the essential information to the users are there. So these are the four key principles that is being used, and in order to implement these concepts, there are operator overloadings are there, overridings are being used. Then we have the different concepts are being there in object-oriented programming Java, which will be discussed later on. So this is the object-oriented programming in which we discuss the what is class is there, what is objects is there, what are the principles are there, which we have discussed the encapsulation, inheritance, abstractions, and hierarchical concepts are there. Polymorphisms is there. Thank you.